Catholic University in Abuja, which is owned by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, has invoked its right of reply following allegations of sexual harassment made on this program by a nun and former staff of the university, Anastasia Kinsey, against her head of department and a clutch of priests who are not directly connected to the university. Sister Anastasia says she was dismissed by her congregation of sisters for exposing the rot inside the university and the church. But Veritas has dismissed the allegations as patently false, insisting it has zero tolerance for sexual harassment of any kind. In a statement, the Catholic University said Sister Anastasia was sacked because she aided and abetted examination malpractice, a charge which she has robustly denied. During her appearance on this program some 24 hours ago, she talked about an institutional backlash and a revenge mission against her after she made the sexual harassment allegations. Take a listen to some of what she had to say.
So I told him that a classmate of mine said his head of department went with him and it helped him to get employment. So could you please come with me, because I really need to get this employment so I can pay my fees. And he said okay, and he went with me to the Vice Chancellor's office. Upon our return, he said I should come with him to his private office, and that was when he came at me and tried to kiss me and held my body, and it was very terrible. I couldn't react. I froze. And afterwards, I spoke to some staff and some colleagues. I got the employment quite okay, but I started, being fearful of him and avoiding him. And
you reported this to the authorities?
Yes, I did.
You appeared before a panel.
I went to the chief medical director of the university. That was in December, and I told him my head of department was harassing me, and he said I should come to him if he does it again. So I felt that was not okay, so I didn't come to him when he did harass me other times. So I reported to the university because a student of mine in 200 levels said the head of department tried to touch his classmate inappropriately. As a mother, even though I'm a sister and not married, that instinct is there, and I felt that this has to be reported. So I sought evidence and reported it to the university. They called me to a panel and tried to pressure me into giving up the case.
Right, so that was how they responded to your allegation?
Yes, that he is a key...
Was there any attempt to investigate it?
I have not seen that, so they took me to the Vice Chancellor's office.
But you say you've got some evidence.
Yes.
Did you submit that to them?
I did show them. So they called him, they called the HOD.
Right.
And he said nothing like that happened.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, Veritas University has asked for its right of reply, which it gets tonight. And for this, I'm joined now in the studio by the Head of Corporate Affairs and Communications at Veritas University, Ben Agande. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
For this opportunity.
Where would you like to start in your right of reply to Sister Anastasia Kinsey?
To start with, the former sister's position is riddled with half-truths. Sister Anastasia got into Veritas around 2024, November, 5 months after she was involved in examination malpractice. She assisted a student to attempt to evade an examination malpractice. How did she do it? A student was caught, she was given an incident form to fill, and then she told the student to fill a wrong name. That way there would be no way they was going to trace him. And then when the student appeared before the panel, he said that she did what the lecturer did and told her to do. And then we discovered it was this sister. She was called before the panel and she admitted her reason for doing that, according to her, is that she took a pity on the student. And the committee recommended that she be seriously reprimanded. What am I saying? Sister Anastasia this happened on the 14th of March. And the panel met and submitted its report on her on the I'm not too sure of the date now, but almost 2 weeks after. And then after that, series of events began to take place. On the 2nd of July, which is almost like 3 months after, she submitted a letter to the Vice Chancellor alleging that her head of department was harassing her sexually. The first thing she did was that she wanted to excuse that she didn't want to put her name on it. And then, as I told you earlier, Veritas has a very robust, very comprehensive policy on sexual harassment. And the Vice Chancellor felt that she cannot be submitting an anonymous petition of that magnitude when she needed to defend her position, and especially when she told the Vice Chancellor that she had evidence. So it was an opportunity for her to provide those evidence. Let me let you know that we've had situations whereby lecturers have been dismissed because they are able, they took, behaved in a way that is unethical according to our own standard. And then people who have been able to, who have been found to be in that kind of compromising situations, they're not given a second chance. What more of a Reverend Sister, a member of the congregation, who was there because of the fact that she was recommended by the congregation. Don't forget that she did her undergraduate degree program in that university. It was
so let me understand something, because I'm not quite sure where you're going. Are you saying that because there was an issue around exam malpractice, if she submitted a complaint about sexual harassment,
I was going to get to that.
It will not be investigated because of the others?
I was going to get
don't
to
understand.
That. I mean,
okay.
I'm trying to lay a background to all these things. So when she submitted her letter to the Vice Chancellor, signed by her on the 2nd of July, a committee was set up by the Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, a distinguished professor headed by a doctor, made up of 4 people, a woman and 3 other persons. And then she was invited, and then she was asked to provide this evidence that she said she had. She never provided any.
Well, she says she did. She said they summoned her before a panel and tried to pressure her to give up the case instead of investigating it, even though, these are her words, she submitted audio and video recordings as evidence. She said that was how Veritas University responded to her allegation.
No, I mean, she appeared before the panel. She was given an opportunity to provide the evidence that she said she had. She never provided any evidence that clearly indicated that somebody had harassed her.
Well, she says the HOD was called before the panel, and he claimed she was trying to set him up. She was trying to set him up, and the panel seemed to agree with him.
Well, I don't know who called the HOD according to her, but don't forget that former Sister Nancy's narrative, especially in these past few days, is born out of content creation, because she already admitted that she's now a content creator. And then content creation is not guided by facts. So her narratives try to justify those wide allegations that she made.
No, well, the point I'm making is that she says she has audio and video recordings.
Actually,
she said that she also recorded some of the proceedings of the panel. And that is where she says that she has evidence that they were trying to pressure her, that she recorded some of the proceedings of the panel, which may eventually end up in the public arena. I mean, doesn't that concern you? And perhaps you guys should make strident efforts to try and see that evidence from her.
We gave her the opportunity to provide us evidence.
Otherwise, it might go out in the public.
No, I mean we don't have anything to hide. Veritas University has a very robust policy about sexual harassment. I think it is important for you to know, and the members of the public to know, that from the lowest staff to the Vice Chancellor, you sign an undertaking abiding by those robust principles against sexual harassment. And then it was not just because we wanted to add numbers to that. We wanted to provide a context that if something happens, we'll refer to it. And I mean, if we do that to other people who are not nuns, I mean, it's natural that we should be effectively, I mean, it's effectively reprehensible that a nun.
But you do know there are 2 sets of sexual harassment allegations.
Our policy covers all the sects, whether 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that one is against a head of department at Veritas. The other is against priests in the Catholic Church. And both are connected in the sense that they are both part of the institution of the Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church has the capacity.
I know it's not, I mean, the priest thing has nothing
Well, I
to
don't
do
want
with
those
you
to
directly.
mix. I don't want those
But what
to
I'm
mix
saying
this.
is that one would think that in such a situation that involves potentially reputational damage and maybe even a lawsuit, that the university would be less dismissive and more inclined to institute robust investigations. Has that been done?
You are assuming that investigation.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm not making an assumption.
I'm just telling you that a panel was set up, headed by a doctorate degree holder, by the dean of the faculty that she belonged, robustly discussed all these things, gave her opportunity to provide those evidence. She never did.
Well, she said that in addition to...
Sorry, sir, that is her word.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you from the position...
No, I understand that, but that's your word against hers.
It's just like her word against me.
Maybe what you should do is provide a record of the panel that you set up and all
I
the stuff.
have all the reports of the panels.
Can you understand, though, her frustration?
Please, you watching this, do you think or believe that this Veritas University representative is saying the truth or not? And do you also think that this Reverend Father, this Reverend Sister can come out to lie against an institution of such magnitude? The institution, that trained her, the institution that fed her, do you think that she can come out to beat the finger that fed her? Let me know what you think as we continue to finish up this clip, because I know that no matter what, truth must prevail and everybody deserves to be heard. Let's finish up.
Frustrations. A young woman barely out of her 20s who was a nun, professed to the profession of being a Reverend Sister in the service of Christ, facing the full might of a major Catholic university and the institution of the Catholic Church, and feeling as if she's pushing against an implacable wall. I'm not saying she's right. I'm saying that that is what your university ought to bear in mind when you're dealing with a single young woman who's a nun. And that's why you ought to come out in your investigation in full support of her, to ensure that you exhaust the entire process of investigation.
We do not have the luxury of manufacturing evidence for her. She made the allegation. The onus is on her to prove it. I mean, we've had situations where people made very wide and robust allegations as people. Some of them get jailed. And then after periods of time, they discover that those allegations were wrong. Reputations may have been damaged.
Yeah, but her reputation has also been affected.
Do you think that...
And her dignity as a woman.
So you are assuming, you are assuming that
I'm not making an assumption.
No, but you made a statement of fact that...
When she was here yesterday, I played the devil's advocate. I'm doing that now.
No, you presuppose that.
Let me ask you this, we're almost out of time. Is there the remotest chance of reopening her case with a view to investigating it again, perhaps more thoroughly, and possibly reconsidering her dismissal in that context?
We gave her opportunity to present.
So you're not going to open the case?
No, I didn't say that. We gave her opportunity if we have new evidence that potentially indicate that perhaps they were not presented to us.
Right.
I mean, we're not cast in stones. We're open to certain new
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
If there are opportunities and we're convinced that those evidence that she may provide because of that points to the fact of a possibility that those issues were overlooked. I mean, it is about us. It's about Veritas. It's a brand that we built. We work hard to do it.
And it's a good university.
Veritas has won...
It's got a good reputation, academic reputation.
National and international awards.
Yeah.
We are not going to, treat that, even if the person who is involved is the Vice Chancellor. And if we have an opportunity to see that the evidence that she claimed to have are valid enough to review that. And don't forget that the chairman of council and the pro-chancellor of Veritas University is no less a person that Bishop Kuka, the Bishop of Sokoto Diocese.
Indeed.
His reputation precedes him. He is not going to sit back.
He's a good friend of Arise, and he has sat where you've sat many times.
And he's not going to sit back and decide that those things that you talked about, those wide and very major allegations that she made, is going to be swept under
Okay.
the carpet.
On that note, I want to thank you very much indeed. You've got your right of reply.
Yeah, thank you
That
very
is
much.
Ben Agande, who is the head of corporate affairs and communications at Veritas University. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Now, do you think that the Reverend Sister, is actually being victimized for speaking out? Because no matter what in this life, justice and truth, no, justice, no, but truth must always prevail, no matter what. And every voice deserves to be heard. Yes, every voice deserves to be heard. Just like the university, was also given the opportunity to come and defend itself. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think in the comment section.